Hey guys, Fazzy back here, and it is time for episode 16 of our Calgary Flames franchise mode here in NHL 24. And in today's video, we will be starting off the 2027-28 NHL season. Take a quick look at the roster here before we get into everything. So on the first line, we have Iginla, Hagens, and Rantanen on the top line. Coronato, Zari, Stammer on the second. Gave Stammer a 1-year, $6 million deal. Peltier, Wolski, Huberdeau on the third, followed by Hanzik, Deneau, and Dickinson on the fourth. When it goes to the defense, we have Weegar and Dickinson on the top pair, Anderson, Markkanen on the second, and Poirier and Brandstrom on the third. And then obviously in the net, we have Dustin Wolf, backed up by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. So I really do like this team. I think we have a lot of depth and just a very solid squad, and I hope we can go pretty far in the playoffs this year. With that being said, let's jump into the first game here. It is the home opener for the Flames. First period, it is 1-1, Rantanen and Heiskanen. 3-1 Flames after 2, Hagens and Zari. And after 3, it's a 5-7 win. So a lot of goals being scored in the third period there, but the important part is we walk away with the W. So now that the home opener is complete, just get through this first half of the season. Don't think it'll be the longest episode, unless we have lots of injuries like this, as Deneau goes down in the second game of the season. Just bring in Michael Backlund as the fourth line center. And then we'll switch out the goalies there. Give Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen the start against his former team in Buffalo. Did beat the Bruins there by a score of 6-5. Against the Buffalo Sabres here, that is a 6-1 loss. Thanks, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Not the best way to make your Flames debut. Let's get Wolf back in there. And then let's just continue on with the simulation. Against the Florida Panthers, that is a 5-2 win. Against the Montreal Canadiens, that's another 5-2 win. As Philip Deneau is back, so we will swap him out there for Michael Backlund on the fourth line. 1 assist in 3 games. Very limited ice time, but that is his job there down there. Against the Chicago Blackhawks, that is our third straight win by a score of 5-2. You'll love to see it. Against Boston, that's a 3-1 loss. Going up against the Dallas Stars here in Calgary, that's an 11-0 win. What the heck? Let's look at who is scoring these points here. So Rantanen 5 points, 5 points from Zari. Hagens had a 7-point night. Weegar picks up 4. Good thing we signed Hagens. I think he's going to be asking for more money after putting up a 7-point night against Dallas. Holy smokes. Wow. Well, let's keep on with it against the very good Sens. It's another win, 5-1. Against the Colorado Avalanche, that is a 4-3 win in the shootout. So 10 games in, let's take a look at all our stats here. I think they'll be pretty good for the most part. Zari leading the way with 19-10. Rantanen, Hagens, Coronato not too far behind. Iginla with 13. Stammer looking good. Wolski and Huberdeau, the only 2 concerns I see right now. Again, it is third line ice time, but that contract's not going to look good on Huberdeau if he's not producing. Defensively, everything looks pretty good here. And Wolf has been very solid to start the year for us, so nothing really too much here that I think needs to change. I think we just keep at it, and hopefully we keep winning games. As I say that, we do lose to the Pittsburgh Penguins in overtime. Against the Sharks, that is another loss by a score of 5-3. Against the Dallas Stars again, beat them by a score of 3-2. And against the St. Louis Blues, that is a 2-0 shutout. So up now against the Arizona/Utah team. Let's just switch out the goalies here. We'll give Dustin Wolf a little bit of rest here. Give Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen some time. Wolski, I want to get him going a little bit more just because I don't want to stunt his growth. Being a creative player, I think he can be really good for us, so give him a little bit of second pairing time down there. That is a 3-2 win over the Arizona Coyotes. Against the Avalanche, that is a 5-3 loss. Against the New York Islanders, that is a loss in the shootout by a score of 5-4. think it's probably best to get Dustin Wolf back in here now. He's had a little bit of a break, couple of games off. Put him back in the net here. Against the New York Rangers, that is a 4-2 loss and a little bit of a losing streak here. Can we change that against the Buffalo Sabres as Weegar goes down? Not the longest term injury there is, it looks like it's early December. But nonetheless, that is our best defender right there. So I guess let's just get Anderson up there for now. Get Mikkola in there for a little bit. And then I guess just the extra attacker and shootout. I guess we just throw Hagens in there for the extra attacker. Probably should have been in there anyway. And shootout will do the same thing. He probably should have been there anyway. So not the end of the world, not the longest term injury. Is around the 27th of November against the Florida Panthers here. It's a 5-4 loss. But there is another 10 games done. Let's take our look at our stats and everything at the quarter-way mark. Again, Connor Zary still leading the way, 30 points. Been really, really solid for us. Rantanen, Coronado's really broken out. He's looked good. Iginla's been really, really good. Over a point a game still. Stammer on the third line still producing. Wolski's concerning me. It's not a great start for him. Hanzik. Hubert only 4 assists in 20 games. That's not good. We got to keep him going just so that contract doesn't age like too bad, but maybe no way in avoiding that. Defensively, I'm more or less happy with everything. And goaltending wise, again, not too much we can do right now. Wolf is doing pretty good. So one thing I think I want to change here is just trying to get Huberdeau to produce a little bit more. He's going to get the +5 on the second line. We got to get him going a little bit more. Switch the goalies in the AHL, but he still has 3 more years left after this at 10.5. That's a contract is not aging too good there. As we do beat the Nashville Predators there, and Weegar does return to the lineup, so that is very good. I do have one extra change here I think I want to make on the defensive side of things. Nikkola's been good. Let's get Weegar back in there, and we'll throw him back on the top line. One thing I want to change is I think I'm going to send Mikkola down to the AHL, and I want to get up Bruce Wicks. It's tough. I think I want to make Brandstrom the 7th. I want to make sure that we don't totally kill his growth down there in the AHL. Should be in the NHL at this point. I know the blue line is pretty loaded, but we definitely need to get him that time on the main roster. So Mikkola does clear waivers. We'll get him down there in the first pairing AHL. And then Brandstrom, you'll be our new 7th, and Bruce Wicks will be the new 6th. Again, if we are struggling for whatever reason, anything like that, we can easily change that out. Especially for playoffs, call up Mikkola when it's more of a physical game. Up against the Washington Capitals here. It's a huge 7-4 win. Let's switch out the goalies here since it is a back-to-back real quick. We will get Dustin Wolf back in the net. And then outside of that, I think, yeah, we're just good to go. Continue on with the sim against the Carolina Hurricanes. It is a 4-2 loss. Up against the Philadelphia Flyers, it's a 5-1 win. Against the awful San Jose Sharks, they're sitting a record of 8-16-1. Unfortunately, we lose Poirier in that game before I could see what actually occurred. So again, that's more or less why we have Brandstrom. He will just fill in there on the bottom pairing. And against the San Jose Sharks, we did beat them by a score of 5-3. Against the Arizona Coyotes, and Peltier goes down with a fractured ankle. So that's a big loss on the third line there. Let's see. So let's get Hanzik up there again. He has some potential, could grow. And then probably just Jay O'Brien for now. Could always put Backlund in there if needed, as we do lose to the Arizona Coyotes. And this is another loss against the Winnipeg Jets. As Poirier is returning to the lineup here, so we will swap him out with Brandstrom. Again, it kind of sucks for Poirier. There's just not any room in the top 4 for him, so I don't really know what kind of future he has. We have a game against the Oilers here, with it being a rivalry matchup. Let's jump into it. 1-0 Flames after one, Coronado for us. After 2, it is 3-2 for the Flames, Hagens and Rantanen for us, and in the third, of course, the Edmonton Oilers come back to win by a score of 5-3. So let's get through one more game against Vegas here, and we'll take a look at the stats once again. So against the Vegas Golden Knights, it is a 4-3 win in the shootout. So 30 games into the year, we sit at a record of 17, 11, and 2. That is a pretty good record overall. I think we could be doing a little bit better if I'm being honest, but it's not horrendous at all. Hagen's leading the way now, 40 points in 30 games. Very happy we got him locked up. Ginla's still at over a point per game. Stammer doing well. Wolski's picked up a little bit. Still not great. Same with Huberdeau, up to 11 points now, 2 goals, 9 assists. Samuel Honzek's doing pretty good there. Outside of that, nothing too crazy. And then defensively, Weegar leading the way in scoring, 20 points. Dickinson a -1, but it's not too bad at all. 87 overall still. And Bruce Wicks -2, but 4 points in 8 games. Goaltending, unfortunately, it seems to have kind of fallen off a cliff. Both guys are not doing great here as we get midway into the season. Again, not much we can do about that. That's just kind of how it is with EA NHL. Never can really trust the goalies. Make a few line changes here. I think I want to get Anderson back up to that top pair and get that +5. See how that works. Against the Vegas Golden Knights, it's a 5-2 loss. Against the Seattle Kraken, that is a 6-4 win, so we answer with a big win. Hagen's now with 42 points. Up against the LA Kings, 3-1 loss. Back-to-back, let's switch out the goalies. I honestly wouldn't mind giving UPL a little bit of a stretch here. Wolf hasn't been able to get it done, unfortunately, so... Backus, our medium elite goalie prospect in the AHL, looking really good here in his second year. But yeah, like I was saying, let's give UPL a couple of starts here. See what he can do. 6-2 win against the Wild. It's a good start. Against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Trade, say no. That is a 4-2 win, so back-to-back. Against the New Jersey Devils, who are struggling this year. Rasmus Anderson goes down with injury, so not long again, but it is a top 4 defender going down once again. So I guess that just means let's just move Markkanen up for now. And then Poirier will go up, and Brandstrom will take his spot there on the third. That is another win against the New Jersey Devils by a score of 3-2. Against Tampa Bay, that is a loss that ends our winning streak. Up now against the Ottawa Senators, that is a 7-6 win in the overtime. We definitely have those just crazy games where we score a ton, but we get scored on a lot as well. So let's get Wolf back in there for the final few games of the sim for this episode. Starting things off against the Columbus Blue Jackets once again. It is another win against the Blue Jackets by a score of 5-2. Against Tampa Bay again, that is a 8-1 loss. Nice work, guys. Anderson is back though, so that is pretty big. We will substitute him back into the lineup here. So everything will go back as it was, and Brandstrom will go back to being our 7th defenseman. So we should have a fully healthy squad now aside from Peltier. Sim this game with it being the last one of the episode today. So up against the Carolina Hurricanes here, 1-1 after 1, Wolski and Gensel. After 2, it is 2-1 for the Flames. Bruce Wicks gets the goal putting us ahead, and in the third, we hang on to win by a score of 2-1. So we finish off the first half of the season with a record of 24, 15, and 2. That puts us second in our division in the Pacific. Again, it's not bad. I really feel like we are still underachieving a little bit here. Let's look at the players here one more time. Rantanen now leading the way with 50. Right behind him is Hagens. Again, Zari still doing very, very good for us. Ginla still, he's been really clutch. 26 goals in 41 games. Wow, that's really good. Coronado, he's really breaking out this year. Stammer still doing good on that third line. Huberdeau, he's brought it back a little bit. Same with Wolski. Like Wolski last year. Almost the same amount of games. He had 28 points to 17. He's a minus this year. So, again, something to watch out for. Hansek's been okay. Outside of that forward-wise, you're not expecting too much. Defensively here, nothing really concerning me. Dickinson a -2, but it's one guy. It's not the end of the world. And then goaltending wise, again, goaltending we just need better from both of them. Luukkonen and Wolf, they've been okay. I don't even know if you can say okay, but they've gotten us some wins here, and we'll need them to play better in the second half of the season. But I think that is going to do it for today's episode, going through the first half of the 2027-28 NHL season. In the next one, we will go through the trade deadline and finish up the season. Hopefully we'll be a playoff team. Who knows, with this game, we could fall off at any moment, or we could go on a huge streak. But that'll do it for today's video. I'll see you all in the next one.